Hey, it's Buttons.
So first we start by getting a basic color scheme together. Simplest way I found to do this is grab a screenshot of an area you like and pick colors out of that. Got this photo of Liurnia looking up at the school. As above, so below. So we flip it. Right now I'm aligning up the misty horizon to try and make it level and not curve too much. And next we'll stretch this out with the mesh transform to cover our canvas. Don't worry about the aspect ratio or anything. We're mainly focused on the colors. You can see the upper part of the mesh I'm stretching a lot, and then I'm squishing the lower part in order to get that horizontal line of the lighter mist color for the horizon. Try to keep that level. And I'll just stretch it out as much as I need to get that. And next I'm going to apply a strong Gaussian blur to help us focus the colors here. We're just going to be using it for colors. And then we're going to sample some colors from the image and start painting in some rough colors on the canvas. We don't have to do much, just trying to create a consistent impression. I grabbed a blue color from the sky that seemed like it would make for a good watercolor, and I'm just evening out the tones. So I really like the dark silhouettes that are on this section of the image. They really are just happy little accidents that we can keep and use, so I think I will try to add more of them here. I changed the settings on my airbrush for this to make it a really dense brush rather than really light, because I don't want to have to keep going over the same pen strokes to get the silhouettes of what I was going for, of those weird dark blurry tree silhouettes for the backdrop. Usually I want to, if I can make it one pen stroke or as few pen strokes as possible, I'm going to go for that. Really, I'm just trying to emulate the shapes that are on the left side that look like these that I'm going for. Just trying to recreate them. And to get a feel for it, you can trace over those shapes. Changing the settings on my airbrush again, making it lighter instead of more dense. I'm going to darken the horizon here. It's light, and I don't want it to be light. I want it to be dark. And you'll see why. Next, we're going to use some stamps of tree shapes I got from an art course I purchased. I'll stamp them down, stretch them out, move them a little bit, having the tops of the tree stamp go off the top of the canvas, so it makes the environment feel larger. These trees are going to be some of the closest trees for this backdrop. So once again, we will sample a color from our canvas and make the stamp that color. Just trying to adjust the light level of them. And once we place the stamp, we can use a layer mask to obscure the bottom of the trees. And this goes a long way to pushing that tree deeper into the background. I use a soft eraser to just remove the bottom of it to help set it in to where it is. Adding in these creepy looking tree twigs, branches. Kind of looks unsettling with them coming out of the ground like that. And for this, I thought it would be cool to have some maybe coming in from the side of the canvas. And it helps to flip your images sometimes. Stamps that you use, your whole canvas, just see what it looks like if it's flipped around. We can set those into the environment the same way as the trees by masking out the bottom parts with a soft eraser. Adding in some more trees here, these will go a little further back than the ones we already have. I'm using different tree shapes than the ones I've already used just to vary it up. You can see you can stretch them out, flip them, move them around a little bit, obscure parts of them behind the foreground trees. Not necessarily foreground, but the ones that are in front. Speaking of, something we can do is layer these trees by using different colors, and that's going to create depth. Generally speaking, the darker something is, it's closer to the camera, closer to the foreground. So as you go back, the trees are generally going to get lighter or closer to whatever the backdrop color is, the distant color. We have this silhouette of a row of trees here that I'm going to help to establish some base of like as far back trees as I will have. Now I'll put these down in front of all the other trees first, just to help me see where I'm placing them, and then I'll move the layer behind the trees where I want it to go, behind whichever trees I want it to be behind. Again, I'll color pick something from the canvas and then just change the color of that layer to fit the color that I selected. Again, masking out the bottom using a soft eraser. You can see now we've got a lot of depth going on with all the different trees and light levels of those trees. For this tree, I figured it would be just behind the closest of the trees. Last thing here is I'm going to play around with this other tree shape I found just to see if it works. You can play around with this technique until you get the effect you're looking for. If you're enjoying Artist Hour at the Clawfee House, sign our guest book in the comments. The Clawfee House staff love hearing from you.